Alright, hey, hope you're doing good. I'm Donald Witt, the bass instructor at the How to Play Bass online course, iwanttoPlayBass.com. Jump over there, get your free ebook, get all your good stuff there for free. And today I'm going to talk about some reference material, stuff you can check out to help add to your bass soloing and bass playing, and that's great bass solos. That's what we're going to talk about today, are great bass solos. I've got a list of 10 top bass solos that you want to check out because they are definitely fun to watch and just something to shoot for, to strive for those, to be like those, and to be able to create something similar to that. So this reference list is going to be, it's in no particular order. They're all great by far. Now, number one, I'm going to start off with this one. This one turned me on years ago, and it was Anesthesia, Pulling Teeth by Cliff Burton on Metallica. That bass solo is something to check out. You have to check that out, and just seeing what he did and how much of an innovator he was at that time, and just a great musician he was. He did stuff with that bass that just was, unnatural at the time. Now, the next one, this guy's been my favorite for years. I've loved this stuff for years now, and that's Flea, and that's Aeroplane by off One Hot Minute. It's off One Hot Minute, that album. That bass solo he takes, it's real rhythmical. I've talked about some of those in my previous lessons. Just the rhythms. It's doesn't have to be a lot of notes. Just the rhythms got to be right, the phrasing and everything. And he takes that Airplane. That bass solo is not difficult, but it's rhythm. The rhythms are great. So check that one out for sure. Now the next one, this one's just crazy fast. These guys are phenomenal, and they've been an influence on me for years. And that's YYZ by Rush. They've been just phenomenal, and that particular song is crazy fast. Him and Neil Peart are just tearing it up, and it's just impressive to watch. And check that out. And there's Winston there. Tell Winston hi. But yeah, so we got YYZ. We have Rush. That's in there. You can't. It's hard to be a bassist and not be influenced by Rush, or not to be checking those out. Even all of these. All these guys on this list you want to follow, you want to look into them, and try to imitate some of their stuff, because it's definitely good stuff to know. Now this one it's not as popular, but man, I've loved it for so long, and it's Broken Hearts by Living Colour, and it's Muzz Skillings on there, and there's a bass solo in there that I've just loved it. It's all. I love that song. I love that bass line. That bass solo in there is so good. So that's one you want to check out. Now this one's a long one. You have to. It's the Allman Brothers, and a lot of their stuff is long, very long. So this particular song is 30 minutes long, but I'll tell you exactly where to get to the bass line. It's actually in like 18 minutes into it, you get the bass solo, and that Barry Oakley, and it's the Mountain Jam, and that's. Like I said, go to about 18 minutes in. The whole bass line, though, for the whole thing is good to definitely listen. Give it a whole listen to one time, but to reference back, you can go in 18 minutes into it, and you'll find the bass solo that he does. So it's definitely impressive as well. Now this one, all of these guys have been a big influence on me. I love these guys. They're phenomenal bass players, and they've been around. They've withstood the test of time too. They haven't been no fly-by-nights, and they've been, and they're still digging into it. And this guy I was a big fan of his with Talas, and that was a long time ago. Now he's still putting out, I guess, the Winery Dogs. I don't know if he's with them now, or it's something not too long ago that he did. But it's Billy Sheehan and it's Time Machine. That whole band, those guys are just tight, and just hammer it out like you wouldn't believe. But that particular bass solo is good. Now the next one we've got is this guy's bass lines as well. You want to follow his stuff because he's a phenomenal bassist, and it's John Paul Jones. It's Lemon Song by Led Zeppelin. That one, you know, the blues. I've talked about the blues a lot, and Led Zeppelin was definitely some innovators of the blues and took the blues to a different level. And John Paul Jones's bass lines added to all of that. Just phenomenal. That entire band is just phenomenal. It's a shame that John Bonham had to leave us so soon, but that guy, I love listening to Led Zeppelin just to hear his drums. It's just amazing. So give Led Zeppelin a good listen to and dig down into him. Listen to John Paul Jones's bass line, but also listen to John Bonham's drums. It's unbelievable what that guy could do. It was natural to him. It was definitely in his blood. Now, the next one, this guy, it's Bob Daisley, and he's been around. He's kind of he came in under the radar, but he's been around forever. Ozzy, his lines are just, great. And this particular one is Empty Rooms, and it's the Gary Moore, it's Gary Moore's album, and it's Empty Rooms, and it's Bob Daisley. He takes a solo in there that's pretty impressive, and like I say, his lines are, you'll know it's Bob Daisley when you're hearing those lines. You might not have known it before, but when you listen to Ozzy and you listen to, I think it was Bark at the Moon, he was the bassist on that one. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, Jakey Lee. But that's, he's in there and he's very recognizable too. But he just never, he definitely made a name for himself, but not like Billy Sheehan's or Cliff Burton's. But he was always a key player in their music. So I'm down to number 9. I've got this one. I didn't save it for last, but this guy, I don't care what bass solo it is that he's taken. It should be. I could make a list, top 10. Could this be this guy the whole time? It's Jocko, and it's actually Ian Hunter's All-American Alien Boy. That one, I get tongue twisted on that one, but it's All-American Alien Boy, and that bass solo in there, and it's Jocko. The whole song is great, and Jocko's on that album, so it's it's going to be good. So you got to check that out as well. Now, last but not least, and this guy is my favorite. His bass lines, his bass solos, every bass solo I hear of his is just to die for. He's got that fretless bass. He's just melodic. Just the lines, the notes he plays, the intervals are just moving to me. And it's Bunny Brunell, and it's Madeline off the Tony McAlpine Cab 2 album, and it's his bass solo near the end of that. But that whole song as well, there's a lot of big licks in there that he does, and it's just phenomenal. Another one that's all bassists in there. It's Stanley Clarke School Days. He's put out, just YouTube that. Check that out. And there's, Flea's on there. Billy Sheehan's in there. It's a lineup, a big lineup. Stu Ham's in there. Bunny Brunell's in there. And I can't remember everybody's in there. I hate to sell anybody short, because they're there for a reason. And all their bass lines were great also. But the line that Bunny Brunell did in there, it's just, I went home and I had to figure it out. It's just that moving, and that, just great bass line. Just definitely that one. And that's, like I say, YouTube that one, Stanley Clarke School Days, and just check that out. That whole collaboration of people there is just, Marcus Miller was in there. I think Richard Bono was in there. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. So give that a look and a listen and enjoy it. And I hope, like I said, you can use this as a reference. Check all these guys out, write them down, and give them all. Take an hour and just listen to some of their stuff. Definitely look at their bass lines and figure them out. Cliff Burton's, they're not too difficult. He's got some effects going on in there, some distortion, but the overall line is not crazy difficult. It is difficult. For a beginner, yes, it is difficult. It's going to be difficult to just figure it out by ear, but do it, work on it, and challenge yourself to learn these bass lines, and that's going to develop you by far a lot. So that's probably the best thing you can do for yourself, is figure out other bassists that other top-notch bassists, figure their stuff out, and that will help you out by far. It's good ear training when you figure out their own songs. It's ear training is great, and then you see the patterns and you see how this particular note goes with that, and just makes that colorful tune, that color there. So check it out, and hope you enjoyed it. And if you haven't yet, subscribe down below, hit that bell notification, be notified when more videos come out. I've got lots more information. I've got a list of stuff I want to put out here, and so it's going to be coming out soon. And I'm going to start another little series here, bass guitar solo pieces. I'm going to start that, and that's going to be, I'm going to break down some real good bass solos, and even I'm transposing some sax lines in the bass, and you want to check that out. So definitely subscribe. When that does come out, you'll get notified of it. And leave a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you disagree with this list, or let me know if there's somebody I've missed, something I missed, because I'm mauled over this thing. There's some that I was trying to find some good bass solos, like the Pat Travers stuff. One of the basses he had, Mars Cowling. That guy's lines through all of the Pat Travers stuff is just amazing. But I can't believe that he never took a bass solo, and that's not to discredit him at all. That's a key to a exceptional bassist. Is you're there for the song. You're not there for your glory. You're there for the song. You're there for the structure of that song, and that's what you're doing as a bassist. You are just adding to that song. So that's, not to discredit any of these guys that didn't take bass solos or anything like that. It's not what the bass was initially meant for, but now the bass has evolved to be a front runner. There's a lot more soloing involved, and it's just becoming more prominent in music today. So it's not that this back in the 70s, it was kind of, they laid in the pocket. That was the idea, to stay in the pocket. So, not to discredit, not that that's discrediting to Mars Cowling, because his bass lines, you check it, you just try to figure out his bass lines. That's work right there. You figure out one of his bass lines, you play through a whole song of Pat Travers with Mars Cowling's lines, you come out sore. You work. That guy worked, and he's definitely somebody to check it. So, all right, again, thank you, and I will catch you on the flip flop. Bye.